The Book of Revelation describes a future capital called the New Jerusalem, a megacity of immense architectural ambition, spanning 1,500 miles in every direction. If you trace the perimeter of this structure, you find a specific mechanical detail. The outer wall is pierced by exactly 12 massive gates. Permanently coded into the foundation of each entrance is a distinct name. These 12 inscriptions identify the 12 tribes of Israel, cementing their names as the structural pillars of the city. These names, now etched into the bedrock of a cosmic metropolis, originally belonged to 12 volatile, deeply flawed brothers. To find the origin of that architecture, we have to travel back to 1689 BC, into the shadows of a primitive desert tent. Jacob is on his deathbed, his body failing and his physical strength exhausted. We have to ask how a dying man, with no physical power left, managed to verbally engineer the foundational blueprint for a civilization that outlasted empires. Jacob gathers his 12 sons around his bed to formalize the most significant transfer of power in their history. In the ancient Near East, a patriarch's final words functioned as binding, ironclad law. What Jacob spoke in these moments would govern his family for generations. He deliberately delayed this address until his final breaths, ensuring the psychological impact on his sons would be permanent. His spoken words acted as an organizational code. He was systematically dividing his single-family lineage into 12 distinct future destinies. This deathbed address was the exact mechanism that compiled a fractured group of brothers into the structured matrix of a unified nation. The process begins with Reuben. As the firstborn, historical protocol dictated that he inherit the primary leadership role and a double portion of the estate. Jacob acknowledges Reuben's status, calling him his might, the beginning of his strength and the peak of dignity. But Jacob suddenly strips Reuben of his future excellence, severing his right to lead. The reason is a specific betrayal from Reuben's past. He had defiled his father's bed by sleeping with one of Jacob's wives. Jacob describes his son as unstable as water, identifying a character flaw that makes him structurally unfit for the weight of authority. In this new empire, biological birthright was irrelevant if the individual lacked the integrity to hold power. Having finished the prophecies, Jacob issues a final absolute command regarding his own remains. He demands to be buried in the cave of Machpelah, located in a field in Hebron. Jacob recites an unbroken chain of title. This is the exact site where Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, and his wife Leah are already buried. He highlights the original financial purchase of the land, citing the legal deed that validates their permanent claim to the territory. A futuristic empire cannot survive if it is not legally and physically bolted to an ancestral footprint. Jacob gathers his feet into the bed and yields his spirit, his task complete. The physical reality of that burial site still stands today. These massive, weathered stone walls have guarded the site for thousands of years. There is a direct line stretching from these immovable ancient stones to the visionary, glowing gates of the future city. The blueprint for a lasting legacy is achieved only by marrying an ambitious vision of the future with a reverence for the past.